Joining us here is none other than the NFL insider from Fox and a great human being, founder of MVP, Merging Vets and Players, and also the Unbreakable Performance Center. Good to see you, Jay.
You too, my man. You talk about these, the Bill O'Briens and the Cowboys, and that's why I hate doing hot seat stories, because a couple weeks ago, everybody had Jason Garrett fired that week.
That's true.
Right? Then somebody had John Harbaugh fired 3 weeks ago. Right? And then earlier in the season, people talking about Bill O'Brien. That's why I hate the hot seat story, because half of them don't pan out. And as you know, I like to be accurate more than anything. And it affects families and teammates, and just, we're such a what have you. The league has run the reactions in the NFL, and it has been for a long time, almost like social media. It's like, oh, we lost this week, let's fire a guy. And now here the Cowboys are in first place.
Yeah, they are in first place, and Ron Rivera is now on that hot seat. I know you don't like talking about it. He was asked about it point blank after a fourth straight loss. Is he concerned for his job? And he told the reporter, "Don't ask me that again."
Right, because he was quote unquote fired the year they went to the Super Bowl, right, or the year before.
He did, right?
Right, he was fired, and then that's why I hate those stories. I hate them.
Now, but then hot seats become so hot that a team that hasn't fired a coach in the middle of the season since 1953 actually does it in Mike McCarthy this past week. You spoke to McCarthy that night?
Yeah, I spoke to him right after. And, he was shocked it happened when it did. And I know that they're spitting now as well. We want to get a head start on looking for coaching candidates. That's garbage. Anybody who said, as well as I do in this league, things are done back channels anyway. All right. And you can't hire a guy till after the year.
And you can't hire a guy unless the Rooney Rule is
so every time somebody says, we want to get a head start on coaching search, that's garbage. I can tell you from experience, when a team goes in the year, they know that they're going to be looking for somebody, it starts the year before. They start looking at guys. They talk to agents. There's no, a guy's fired, so now we can start doing our due diligence. If you only do your due diligence after you fire a guy, then you should be fired. Because that's not how it's done in this league. And, but when I talked to him, he was, Mike's a classy guy. He was literally like, I'm just proud to be part of the Packers family. I'm really honored that I was.
This is off camera, off air.
And he's like, I'm honestly just really honored that I was part of this family and part of the Packer legacy. And he said, my first thing, my family right now is having a hard time dealing with it. So he was racing home to go help his kids handle that. And
how old are his kids?
They range in age.
Right.
One of them lives out here. She's older. Youngest is about 3 right now. But then there's a couple 16s. It's like so they range in age. But he wanted his first thing. I got to make sure my family's good. And that's what people. Again, there's part of it. And somebody says, well, these guys make enough money. That there's not enough money to make it okay that, anybody deserves that their family, their kids who, they have to deal with that. So
how did it get to the point where the Packers had to say in their minds that you don't even finish the year?
Yeah. Look, again, I don't agree with it because I think he deserved better. And look, when Tom Coughlin, there's certain guys, Tom Coughlin, Andy Reid, Mike McCarthy, I think there's a certain respect you should give them when, look, we know it's ending. Mike, how would you like to do it? Right? How's the best send-off for you? What's most respectful for you? Tom Coughlin thinks, I'm going to step away. Right? There's different ways you could do it. Andy Reid, how Andy wanted to do it. There was a way you could do it where you all come out. It's never comfortable, and I don't think, and Mike knew he was getting fired. We all knew it. But there's a way to do things the right way and a wrong way. And this way, I think it's a wrong way. I also, look, a lot of people are pointing at his relationship with Aaron. The one thing that people really need to remember here with McCarthy and the Packers, and I'm sounding like I'm a McCarthy,
I
am, though, because the dude has no politics in him. He is that Pittsburgh,
the toll taker.
He has no politics. But when Brett Favre left, Brett Favre, as we know, treated Aaron terribly, right? And Aaron's confidence was down here. And Mike McCarthy said, I'm going with him, built Aaron up. Even when Brett came back, said, I'm going on Greta Van Susteren and doing all that.
We are that.
Right? Remember the calamity that was? I'm sticking with Aaron. I am here. I'm building him up. when nobody else in this country was, he stuck by him. And I just think that
how did that go by the wayside? Even 10 years later.
Yeah, I think that
Glaze,
I think there's some other things behind the scenes, but I just think, look, and I'm okay with certain marriages. Some marriages end, some relationships end.
Right.
Totally fine with that. I just think there should be a certain respect there that of what both guys did for each other.
Jay Glazer here on the Rich Eisen Show.
And by the way,
yes.
Since McCarthy has been fired, there were immediately after, Mike Zimmer texts me, "Hey, can you give me McCarthy's phone number?" And right away he comes out and says, "I don't agree with that." Sean Payton, "Hey, can I get this guy's phone?" Like the number of people that call and general managers calling around saying, "I just want to reach out to Mike." And I talked to Mike again yesterday, saying, "I'm kind of taken aback. You're in such a little igloo out there in Green Bay. When you're coaching, you don't realize anything else." But was really touched by the outpouring. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. If Colin Kaepernick's sitting by the phone and the Redskins find his phone number and dial it up, would he take their call? Would he want to play for the Washington Redskins?
I haven't talked to him, but I would think that if you want to play football, you're going to take anybody's call. But I think Colin needs a plan when
4 weeks to go and a season's not it, or
but also no, it's a plan. Like, hey, how are you going to handle all the other stuff? You're a backup quarterback, and you're going to be brought in as a backup, or maybe probably. Well, you're going to have to learn the system.
Well, somebody's going to say, "Are you going to kneel during the national anthem?"
I don't even think it's that. It's the whole thing that comes with it. You still have to be one of 53 guys, right? So what's your plan? And if Colin says, "Hey, here's the plan, how it's just going to be about football for me. We're going to minimize this," and then I think that's his best bet. I have no idea. I haven't talked to him.
Sure, right.
Right.
Because this team's in the mix. They're
yeah.
I just said
I call them.
There's 3 teams at 6-6: Panthers, Eagles, Redskins, a half game behind the Vikings, and the Eagles and the Redskins are a game out of first place.
See, that's why I always wish Colin would come out and
division.
just talk football somewhere, like just football. So and just
like as a sit down, like his own Greta Van Susteren, if you will, without
just
the Greta Van
football.
Susteren.
Only football. We already know where.
But I understand T.J. Yates and Kellen Clemens and all those other guys have not done anything during the national anthem that Colin Kaepernick has done. And that said, nobody's asking Kellen Clemens and T.J. Yates to come out and talk football.
Right.
So it just
again, one they're in totally separate.
No, I know.
Stratospheres. One's an icon, right? In a way now.
He is
Colin
iconic.
Right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Those two guys are not. Two totally different things.
Right.
And again, you just want to, I think, do we have a plan here? But yeah, if I'm the Redskins, do I call them? Yeah.
Don't you think players in the locker room would respond to that?
Yeah. But also, you got to see if he's, but yeah, what's out there on the street right now also, he's got to,
there's 4 weeks to go in the season.
Yeah. He's got to be more talented.
Jay Glazer here on the Rich Eisen Show. What do you think is the story of 2018 as we enter the final 4 weeks?
Oh man, it's just been this offensive scoring. The absolutely, the Rams, the Saints, the Chiefs. Just what they're doing is
Bears too. I got to throw the Bears in that mix too, right?
It's just fantastic. It's been great. It's been so much fun to watch. Patriots times, right? It's been fun to watch. And then the two biggest trades that were made really made huge changes, and Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper. They made major changes.
And that usually doesn't happen,
It never happens. So it's kind of changed the landscape of how things are done in this league. And then the other bigger, Le'Veon Bell took up our time for quite a bit of time.
I still can't
Which
believe
was great for us
showed,
insiders. It was great.
He never showed up.
Yeah.
There'll be a market for him, obviously.
Absolutely,
right?
be a market for him. Yeah, no, absolutely. And then, by the way, people say, "Well, he took a year off. How's he going to be ring rust or football?" No. When guys tear their ACL in camp or tear an Achilles, they come back the next year. They're fine. It's the same thing. This guy didn't get hurt. He'll be fine.
Jay Glazer here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, let's get in.
Big announcement coming up.
You ready?
We're doing it now or no?
Ready, Brockman? We'll do it right now.
Huh?
We'll do it right now.
All right, what do we got?
Okay, Chris. I know this is a large macro question, but what have you been pounding the table for over there for quite some time? And I'll just to give you've been pounding the table for a lot. pounding the table for the same thing that my wife has been pounding the table for quite some time.
Yeah, so every February, late February at the Combine, you run your 40. It's a big to-do. It's for charity now. It's amazing. You do a great job. However, the only preparation you do physically for it is you probably like do one of those bend over, calisthenics stretch.
What is that thing? What was that?
Literally,
he just did like a Mandelbaum of Seinfeld.
You are Mandelbaum. 2 minutes before you run. That's the only preparation physically you do for it. I know the last couple of years you worked with Brandon Marshall and Michael Johnson for a day or two. A day. That's not training. That's not getting your body prepared to be the best you physically.
Well, as you know,
5'5", sub 5. I know you have it in you.
There he is right there.
I want you to train.
I
want you to train.
I know you told me that.
And running.
I know, but I've always said that the reason why I don't is because I'm just like I want to be like everybody else, just getting out there and trying my best and not training for it.
You want to be 6 seconds.
But they all train for it.
I've heard you, and I've heard my wife, and I've also heard Dion, who year after year, when I fail to either improve or radically improve, has nothing but disappointment dripping in his voice. So I decided this year, to actually train for it.
We're making a change.
Months in advance.
No way.
We're making a change.
Months in advance.
We're making a change.
And I called up Jay Glazer.
That's why I'm here today, not for football.
And I said, Jay, I want to visit the Unbreakable Performance Center and put myself into your and your staff's capable hands and heart.
Yes. We
Which
build
you
you
feel,
from the inside out.
And you said, come on in.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm proud of you for doing it.
And I've been there for at least 2 weeks now.
Yes,
wow.
Hey, look at this right here. Yesterday he walks in. There's Evander Holyfield and Wiz Khalifa. How do you start a joke like that? Two Jewish guys, Evander Holyfield and Wiz Khalifa, walking to a performance center. And it's just,
that's a great picture.
That's the craziest thing about Unbreakable is that we will have, at any point in time, you're going to walk in there and you're like, who? Like he's worked out with Nate Boyer the last few weeks.
Nate
my friend
Boyer.
Craig.
By the way, working out with Nate Boyer is inspirational.
He's Captain America.
I know. And it's just like, he's on to the next rep and I'm like on 12, 13, 14.
You know how Nate made the Green Beret, like how he got in Green Beret? One thing he did after they were working out, so for the people out there who don't know, Nate Boyer is my partner in MVP, our emerging vets and players, former Green Beret, oldest rookie in the history of the NFL. We trained him at Unbreakable, called the Seahawks. They signed him. Dude never played high school football and played at Texas and Seattle. But the way he helped make Green Beret when they were working out and everybody else is just like done around the track, he did 1 mile of lunges around everybody else.
I mean,
he's different.
He is different. And we did legs day last week and it was great.
Still can't walk?
It was funny when I was thinking, do I text him, see how he's doing today? Because I'm walking like Fred G. Sanford, and he texted first saying that he was hurt. He was feeling hurt. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the right spot. I'm in the right spot. And then I will say this, in the 2 weeks that I've been there already, there are vets all over that gym. So you're about it, just talking about it. You're being about it, man. The fellow you told us a story about, we're showing him right there on the screen. Who's the
Adele. See this guy right here?
His story. He's teaching me how to box right now.
How about that? Adele right here. It was an Iraqi guy who worked for the Marines for 4 years, and Al Qaeda caught him and cut off his in front of him his best friend and his cousin's heads and put the blade to his neck. And right when it happened, he just looked up to God, said, "Here I come." And at that point, you just heard U.S. Marines, and his Marine brothers found him and saved his life. And now he is in our Unbreakable family. He's in our MVP family. We just got him signed by Bellator because he deserves it. Guy deserves a good day. And now he's this is who he's working out
So
with.
here I am. I'm like, because the boxing is after the whole workout, the warm up. The workout, the lifting, this everything, and my arms, it's tough to even lift my arms or find my stance. And looking at him in the face, thinking that I can't make it through, it's a non-starter.
Yeah.
It's a non-starter. And again, like I said, you looked at me And you saw like on my face through the first couple of workouts, you know, I'm wearing it. I'm putting it on my sleeve about how I might not be up to snuff.
What I tell you,
like this is Unbreakable, and it's all positive here. And we have
don't ever show me.
Don't ever show it.
Don't ever show it. If I'm hurting, you will never know. You know why? Screw you. That's why. You'll never know. You know, you can control a lot with what's between your ears. And even though, you know, we're working on the physical part over here, we really at Unbreakable, we build you from the inside out. We want it to come out of your soul. You know, it's successful people training with other successful people. People think it's just closed off to the public. It's not. You just, you know, we have almost like the Soho House. You got to kind of sign up and make sure you're part of the right family. But, you know, he's sitting there struggling with something. And Wiz Khalifa comes over like, come on, Rich. Hey, I was here also in this position. Like I came here at 140 pounds and I did this. And Rich, oh my God. And you know, at some point, you're going to turn around to him and return the favor. It's just community that's really beautiful and special. It's an organism that we build. And I'm proud of you because it's a scary thing to do. Change is hard, man. Change is a really hard, scary thing. But it only takes a second for you to say, I'm going to make a change. All it is a fraction of a second. And then you got to roll with it. And in our doors, because it's private, you could look bad. The only way you're going to get better is by looking bad. But we've all done it together. And you got a team there doing it with you together. I honestly don't care about your 40 time. I care about the work that you're putting in there because you're putting this work in.
Me too, but I care about the 40 time.
Yeah, we're gonna get out there. Yeah, Justin worked with yesterday. Kyle, Zach, Jason, all these coaches there. They're great, man.
It's a great family,
You've been doing great. He really, and every day, you know, we're trying to build him up more and more and more. And every day he's like, why can't I do this? And especially like our boxing part, the MMA part we're doing. We do that. It's just better cardio than anything else.
I know, but I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
But he'll do something, and he'll like throw something. He'll go, oh man, I didn't bring my hand back. I'm like, Rich, you're not a professional fighter. We're good. We're okay. Like
you could say that again.
He'll like do something. He'll go like, oh, I dropped my hand. Like, Rich, let's stop beating up on ourselves right here. We're not ready for a fight yet.
That's true.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, man, it's a great spot. And how do you like me now, Chris?
I'm really impressed.
I'm really
impressed. It's going down.
Rich Eisen training for Rich Run at Unbreakable Performance Center.
That is correct.
5-5. Here it comes.
We'll help with
we're merging St. Jude with merging vets and players. We're merging.
Yep.
You and I are merging. We're
Very
merging.
Good, man.
I love you, brother.
I'm
Thanks for doing it. No,
I mean,
seriously, I called him up. The first words he goes, absolutely. Let's get it done.
Done.
And
it's about time.
You've got an incredible performance center there, man.
Do you guys?
It really is great. It's great. I love coming there.
Do you have you guys noticed the difference in his sexiness in the last 2 weeks? Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty clear.
I mean, he's limping a lot. He's sore.
Come on.
It's great though. It really is. And everybody loves having you in there, man.
You know, so it's great to see you, Glaze. Thanks for coming in.
I'll see you later today.
I'll see you later today, sir. Yeah,
every day.
I've been coming almost every damn day for 2 weeks.
And then I want you to come. Let's try and get
Wednesday night.
MVP Wednesday night.
Yes, we'll find a Wednesday night this December for sure. I want to come
tomorrow
in.
night.
It's tomorrow night.
Yes.
Okay.
Tomorrow night.
Okay. You got it.
Oh, by the way, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Our biggest donor of MVP was Mike McCarthy. At sight unseen. Met one of our MVPers who was the SEAL Team 6 commander of the Captain Phillips mission. Just his story. And he's like, and there was a vet we have named AJ who grew up in Green Bay, and he was just volunteering for us. And McCarthy said, he only volunteers? I said, yeah. He says, no, you got to hire him full time, and wrote a check so we could hire this guy full time. And then Dan Quinn just wrote a check to open up MVP Atlanta, where we're starting next Tuesday. MVP Atlanta. Go on our website, vetsandplayers.org.
Yep.
And if you're an ex-NFL player, pro athlete, ex-combat vet, go in there Tuesday night. Randy Couture, Nate Boyer, Brian Stan, those guys will all be running it down there, but it'll be every week.
Glazer, at Jay Glazer. You're the man, Glazer.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
I'll see you later today.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.